Okay, so I've gotten both the aluminum trim piece off of here as well as up here. Another YouTuber suggested that it was not necessary to remove the aluminum trim piece here, that you could just pull it back from these two positions and have access to pry this piece up. But what I found is these are in so tight that to get underneath there like that, it just wasn't possible, in fact. So I went ahead and took this off, and then it's much easier to put a long pry bar underneath each set in here and just push up, and then the whole thing just pops out. And that was much easier. So I do recommend taking off this entire piece, as much fun as that is, and all these clips. To give you an idea what the clips look like before you get into it, this is the piece that came off right down here that you take off first, and you can see what they are is there's tabs with little plastic clips on them, and unfortunately they're not attached. And so what often happens is, as you're pulling it out, this little white piece, or up on this piece they were blue, will end up popping off, and if they do, they'll tend to fall down behind and be lost forever. And I did lose a couple of them. They tend not to break, but they do tend to just sort of fall off and fall behind. So I'll be looking to see if I can get replacements of those. Here you can see what the blue ones look like. Again, it's just a separate clip that's sort of sits on there kind of loose, and they'll, so try to make sure they're coming off with if you can, but I mean, ultimately you don't have much choice. You just have to pry it off and hope. So at any rate, I now have access to the center speaker right there, and this will be two 7mm bolts or screws that they'll all back off there, and then I should have access to the wiring harness and be able to put in the new speaker.